Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So I actually want to go through quite a lot today. So I want to talk about the Satan, because I want to go back to some previous rumours I made a couple of weeks ago about potential of the Void Dragon returning, and we can get into that Satan model in a second. I also want to discuss models that we haven't seen yet, and also the sneaky Necron model that I missed in the background of the cleared up picture that they put in the other day, and there's the other few things in there that I actually want to discuss as well. I also want to talk about the potential release of all this new stuff, that date-wise that is, and I also want to talk about the potential box sets, what I think they may do, and what is in there, and pricing and all that kind of stuff. So let's jump in and let's get started. I think we should start with the potential new models that are coming, or in our case, one of the new models that are definitely coming for the Necrons anyway, and it's this guy in the background. Now, when I made my video the other day, a lot of people were like, hey Varak, you missed a brand new model in that picture, and I did, completely missed it. He was hidden in the background. My investigation skills completely failed me. I am sorry, brothers. But between like the Walker and the Megalith, as we're calling it now, is another model right in the background. Now, of course, I've read the feedback on this, what people think it be. Some people say like it's kind of like an assassin type of model. Some people convince it's a new Flayers. I personally don't think it's anything to do with the Flayers, because I can't see any skin anywhere, and I would hate GW to redo the Flayer models without that kind of grim darkness of like skin hanging off them and bones and all that kind of stuff. It kind of looks like a Lordish, like a HQ kind of model, but with the full Necron range we've been experiencing at the moment, everything is just like so high quality. Like every single model kind of looks like a HQ model. So I definitely think there's a lot more still to come for Necrons. Also in this image, right in the back, we can see some of scenery, like some kind of like pylons and stuff. My initial thought was that this was probably something that GW made for this image, just to, like make it a bit more narrative, make it a little bit more cooler. But as you can see, the one with like the little green thing, and I think the other one with like all the stone broken on it, I think that's the same one, but it's turned around. So I definitely think that this is a proper model, because I don't think GW will invest that much time making something for a scenery piece with that much detail on it. So I'm thinking now, we've got to have some like scenery pieces that can actually have rules for the Necrons, much like what we had with the big Chaos Gate. The name escapes me at the moment, but I think it gave like a 5+ invulnerable save or something to Psychers if you were like within 12 inches of it or something like that. I'm wondering if this is going to be the same thing with Necrons, where it gives you a certain type of power, or it stops fire on you, or gives you a certain buff to your Necron warriors, or whatever bloody hell is around it. Now on to the Space Marine stuff, because I definitely think there is a lot more to come with the Space Marines. I really do think there's a lot more to come with the Space Marines. Now, we all know that the Primaris bikers are definitely going ahead. It's happening, I've been saying this ever since we saw the blur image. This is definitely real. It's definitely got to be happening. Now, for me, everything on that blur image is definitely going to be happening as well. Now, if we look at the blur image again, of course, one of the main things on there, and one of the main talking points about that blur image, was not only the bikers, but the land speeder. Now, what I think is going to happen is that we're going to get a lot more fast attack options in the coming weeks. And what I mean by this is that once everything has come out, and we'll get into like release dates and stuff very soon, I think we've got to get the Necron Codex first, which is rightly so, because Necron is like the big release, and I definitely do think we will be getting a new Space Marine Codex, because all the new units that we're getting at the moment, like this ancient the veteran ancient people have been saying, all the new shield guys, the assault marines, the new judicator, the hell fury units. There's just so many units now that are outside of the codex, which need to be put into a new codex. I know people have been saying, well, it can be put in like a separate book for the box and stuff. It will have rules in a box set, definitely, but it makes sense for them to do a brand new codex and put everything in there. And of course, with a new crusade system, it's definitely got to be happening with the Space Marine stuff. So I definitely think the land speeder is on the cards. That's got to be coming. I think we're going to see the multi-part suppressors. I know that kit has been forgotten about by a lot of people. I've completely forgot about them. That's the only unit I really don't have when it comes to my Primaris. But I also think that there's going to be new units that we've yet to see with the fast attack option. A lot of people have been talking about assault marines. Yes, we now have the assault Primaris on foot, but what about the jump pack marines, those kind of marines? And there's an image that was sent to me off a chap called James, so thank you James for this image. He took this off the Warhammer 40,000 website, but if you look closely at this image, you can actually see assault marines that are armed not with the big bolters that we expect them, like the Inceptors or anything like that. They're actually armed with bolt pistols. They do have the Primaris armor, and they have melee options as well. Because let's face it, if there's something that we need as Primaris players, yes, we needed the melee option, but it'd be really, really great if we got the two variants, you know, the jump melee option and the ground melee option. And I'm a person that believes that when GW does official art, and this is official art we're seeing, by the way, this is not fan-made art, when GW do official art, I think that is taken from models. I think they give the artist the models, all right, you know, do art surrounding, you know, around this kind of stuff. So I truly believe that the art in the background is leading up to another variation of Assault Marines for the Primaris range. Nextly, I want to talk about the Satan model, because this Satan model has been getting a lot of attention, and rightly so, because it absolutely looks fantastic. Yes, I have seen the theories that people are saying that this is Sanguinius reincarnated. The Silent King had a soft spot for Sanguinius, so he made him in his image once more. I don't believe it for one bit, but I'd find it hilarious if they did something like that just to troll you Blood Angel players. Now, what I want to talk about, I actually want to harken back to a video I did a couple of weeks ago, which my source, the same source that gave me the information back in October about 9th edition coming this summer, about the Space Marine and Necron box set for the new edition, also gave me the information that he heard that there's a new Satan model that is going to be linked to the Void Dragon. And if you look at this image, if you just look at it, it does have reminiscence of the Void Dragon. It has a tail. I know tails and stuff. It has wings, dragon tails. I know we are going down the bit of a theory hole here, but I'm inclined to believe this guy. He's been right, you know, every time, and you know what he's been talking about me and stuff like that. So I think that this could, you know, potentially be the shard of the Void Dragon, maybe escaped from Mars, maybe let loose by the Silent King himself. I don't know what, like, the kind of ripple effect that will have on Mars and the Adnec and stuff like that. I don't know if that's going to open new doors, new storylines, all that kind of new stuff. But I think this could be a really, really cool potential storyline if this is something to do with the Void Dragon, and that is like the new Satan kind of thing that we're getting with this new Necron release. And talking of releases, one of the main questions I'm being asked a lot is, Varak, when is all this coming out? When is 9th edition hitting? When is the new Necron stuff, the new Space Marine stuff? When is it all coming out? Now, what I've heard, and this is not confirmed at all, this is just what I've heard through the grapevine, is that it looks like it's all going to be coming out in July. Now, if I'm not mistaken, normally a new edition comes out in August, but the way that GW have more or less revealed all this, like with the 9th edition, you know, the stream and everything, I personally think it's going to be coming a lot sooner than it is going to be a lot later. So I think July is a really, really good shout. But again, that is just rumours at the moment. That is not fact at all. So don't take that like for 100% guaranteed. I actually think it all comes down to the way they're going to release the last Psychic Awakening books, because of course we all know that they've been delayed with this current Nurgle crisis and stuff, and they're just getting the productions back up. Engine War will be going on pre-order this Saturday for those of you who are not aware, but how they're going to release the War of the Spider, how they're going to release Pariah, are those going to be coming out in the month of June? If they do come out in the month of June, then I personally think that definitely July is the release date for 9th edition and the start of these new Necron ranges and Space Marine ranges. And lastly, let's talk about box sets, because box sets are, of course, are one of the main things that we do when we're hobbyists. When a new edition comes out, there's always a new box set that comes with it. Now, for those of you who are not aware, because 9th edition is coming soon, they did mention that the last box set from 8th edition, which is the Dark Imperium box set, will be going out. It will be going away very, very soon. So I suggest if you haven't got that box set yet and you are a Primaris fan, if you are a Death Guard fan, then go and buy it now, because there really is really good value in that box set if you want to go and split it with you and a friend and stuff like that. Now, if we move on to the box sets for 9th edition, I'm still convinced, 100% convinced, that it's going to be Space Marines versus Necrons. And if we look at the images that were taken from the website the other day, I think this is actually going to be the content of the box sets. You know, with the bikers, the new shield guys, the Hell Fury units, the veteran ancient people are calling him, the Judicator, the Chaplain model, the Assault Intercessors. I think that's definitely going to be on the Primaris side. And of course, when we look at the Necron stuff, you know, the new Warriors and, you know, the new Spider Boys, as I like to call them, I think that is definitely going to be on the Necron side. Now, the way they're going to do it, are they going to do it as we normally do it, where it's just two armies in one box set for a certain amount of price. And by the way, that price we were talking about on the stream, people are throwing out numbers and stuff. I personally think, again, this is just my opinion, that this box set is probably going to be roughly in the £120 mark, £115, £120. If it's more than 130, I would be very, 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 very surprised, because I think that is then a very, very costly starter set. What they normally do with these starter sets and, you know, new box sets like this is that they do lower them to bring people into the hobby. Like the Dark Imperium one was £95, which was fantastic. That's why I said it's one of the best box sets I ever got, because the amount of content you got in there for that money, for that price, especially if you bought it from like you know, third-party retailers like Element Games and stuff, you got even more money off. So you really did get a, you know, a chunk of models and a lot of money saved. One of the suggestions I saw online actually, which you know, I actually thought it was a pretty decent suggestion actually, is that maybe they'll actually start releasing these new like edition box sets as separate box sets. So you buy the Space Marine one if you just want the Space Marine stuff, and you buy the Necron one if you just want the Necron stuff. And inside that you'll have the, you know, the new 9th edition stuff, you know, a couple of rules to your Necron army and all that kind of stuff. Much like what the Sisters of Battle got back in November, was it November-ish, where they got their own little box set and it was just full of Sisters stuff. Maybe that is like the future that GW are going to be looking at when it comes to releasing box sets. Yes, you can argue that in some benefits it's good, but in other areas, people of course like to buy one box set with two armies in there because they normally split it with a friend. So the box set itself is halved in two once more, and you know, your friend gets one half and you get one half, and I don't know, you bloody share the Codex or whatever the book's in there, and to learn the game together and then throw dice at each other. However they do it, whatever happens, I'm going to be buying the Space Marine stuff. I'm definitely thinking of buying two lots of it, just because I just want as many of those shield boys as possible. For those of you who don't know, I'm definitely doing the Black Templars for my last war with these guys. Of course, they're like the Hell Fury guys, as we're calling them, and maybe not the bikers and stuff like that. They'll probably be painted in my Imperial Fist colours, but everything else is, you know, they are going to be clad in black, and they are going to be shouting faithful hymns as they purge into battle with their swords, and, you know, speaking of the Emperor and all that kind of awesome stuff that you expect with Black Templars. Alright, Chaprunios, that's me done for another video. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching as always. If you've got any thoughts, feedback, anything like that, put your opinions down there. Do you think that is the Void Dragon? Do you think we are going to get new Assault Marines with like power swords and bolters and, you know, all that kind of stuff for the Primaris? Do you still think there's a lot more stuff to be shown yet from GW? The Necron stuff for me is more or less like a brand new range refresh. It is getting to the levels of the Sisters of Battle. It's probably not there because every model of the Sisters was redone, and I don't think every model of the Necron is going to be redone, but they are going to reach that level of being, you know, most of the models will be replaced. So it's going to be exciting times for Necron players, and also, of course, for the Space Marine players, because, you know, if anyone else gets anything new, then we can't go a moment without it, because we demand stuff new as well. Right, that's enough rambling for me. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching as always. Have a great day. See you now, and bye-bye.